Knight comes in for Sonny Weems, and it's Adams in for Eric Bledsoe. The Clippers also making some changes. Smith checked in for DeAndre Jordan. Lance Stevenson comes in for Pierce. And J.J. Redick is subbed in for Jamal Crawford. Taking a look at Los Angeles, Chris Paul and J.J. Redick are the guards. Griffin is out there with Smith. And it's Stevenson in at the small forward.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
And sometimes it feels like Brandon Knight is the Rodney Dangerfield of the NBA. The poor guy just doesn't get much respect.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kevin. Through the end of last season, he'd already been on 3 teams in 5 years. On one hand, it may be disrespectful, but teams recognize his ability, too.
Phoenix shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight.
And as a team, really just middle of the pack in terms of their percentage from the line at about 76.
Yeah, in general, they've been very solid. I mean, free throw shooting isn't something they've had to worry about too much this season, guys.
John Moore, he's checked in for Markieff Morris.
And on the topic of Brandon Knight, you have to wonder why he's been traded around so much. I mean, it wasn't due to a slow start because he made the All-NBA rookie first team. He's smart, has a strong work ethic, proved himself to be a clutch shooter in college, the kind of guy you normally wouldn't think about dealing for someone else.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
And that one's good by Stevenson.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter. You know, talking about Brandon Knight, part of the reason he's been traded so often is because teams are offering great prospects in return. Detroit dealt him for Brandon Jennings, and Milwaukee dealt him for Michael Carter-Williams.
Booker, he's checked in for P.J. Tucker. Clippers trail by 4. Ball outside, screen by Smith. And the wide open shot from Redick. Misses the 3. The Los Angeles Clippers come into this one following a loss to the Grizzlies.
And that was a shocker. Hard to believe that they dropped the ball, so to speak, on that one. And probably a tough pill for them to swallow.
And to lose it like they did, too. Wow, right at the end, and makes it even tougher to take.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Yeah, they're lasered in. I mean, really making the most of their possessions.
They set the pick. Wide open look. And it's Lure with the rebound.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backcourt.
And a trend they'd love to continue right through the next 3 quarters as well, Greg. He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation on his part. A hustle play on the putback by him.
And he's going up for the alley-oop. Stolen by Len. Suns leading by 9. And Lure kicks to Adams. And misses it off the right side of the rim.
And honestly, not real happy with the shot selection on that one.
Yeah, clearly a brain fade there. He's got to be a little smarter in his choice making.
The Clippers have gone 3 of 4 at the free throw line tonight.
And they've been mediocre all season long, just about 72% from the line.
And, you know, you don't have to tell them what their free throw numbers are. I mean, they're well aware of it, believe me.
Los Angeles making a switch here. Johnson's checked in.
Well, the points count, but I wouldn't bet the defense rushes out to prevent another shot attempt from out there. That's way out there.
In the corner, it's Griffin. To end the run, and that's good for 2. Griffin's got 6.
Don't take your eyes off of him because he can make plays from multiple spots on the floor. Put the isolated cam on.
And now, your 7 dancers.
And a word from Chris Paul, who has a little something to say about the success of a very special and influential teammate, Blake Griffin. Of course, we know that Blake would say the exact same thing about Chris Paul. You know, some changes for Phoenix. Alex Len comes in for Chandler. And it's Adams in for P.J. Tucker. Big group substitution here for the Clippers. Blake Griffin, he's checked in for DeAndre Jordan. Smith comes in for Pierce. Lance Stevenson's checked in for Jamal Crawford. And Paul's subbed in for J.J. Redick. Markieff Morris and Alex Len are the bigs. Bledsoe is out there with Adams, and it's Weems in at the small forward position. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Suns. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Kings played some outstanding basketball. He ended with 16 points and played some lockdown defense as well, causing havoc on both ends of the floor. A performance like this was just the trick his team needed to snap their losing streak.
All right, Doris, thanks. That really was a spectacular game for him, even by his standards, guys.
And how about the high standards he has for himself? Really did have it all working for him in that game.
Anxious to see what's in his mind for an encore today. I mean, it'd be awfully difficult to top that last game.
The drive by Paul. The shot goes down and gets this game back to even. Paul's got 6.
Love the aggressive attitude. I mean, no invitation needed for him to take it strong to the basket.
Well, at this point in his career, Clark, it's safe to call Chris Paul one of the all-time great point guards.
Yeah, without question. I mean, for a long time, it was hard to argue that Chris Paul wasn't the top point guard in the league. Even now, you can make arguments for others, but Paul is always going to be in the conversation.
Here's the teardrop. Can't get it to go. Now the Suns take it the other way. This game coming on the heels of their win against the Kings.
And we've talked about how in the NBA you've got to earn your points the hard way, and that really wasn't the case in that game for them.
No, there was no hard way about it. I mean, they got their points easily on dunks and layups against a defense that really didn't offer much of a fight. Incredible timing on the alley-oop.
He absolutely hammered it down.
And guys, mark that play right there, because that could be the one that leads to a surge to break this thing wide open.
There's 45 seconds left here in the second. The Clippers in the lead. Kicks it out to Johnson. Stolen by Len. Fast break, here come the Suns. Len sets a screen for Bledsoe. Adams outside. Not really his range, and it's off target. Los Angeles has gone to the three-pointer 11 times tonight and nailed 5 of them. Johnson, the pass to Paul. Off his leg, and the ref's whistling a kickball. It's Redick on the wing. Shot from 16. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Redick's got 5 points so far.
And he's made more than his fair share of those today.
Here's Knight. No good on the buzzer beater. And we're through.
Well, Brandon, tell him.
On va reprendre les devants. 3, 4, c'est bon.
Welcome back, everybody. The start of the second half getting underway. Both teams battling hard through the first. Len's checked in for Morris. Knight comes in for Sonny Weems, and it's Adams in for Eric Bledsoe. The Clippers also changing it up. Smith checked in for Griffin. And Stevenson comes in for Paul Pierce. And J.J. Redick is subbed in for Paul. And the Clippers, looking at who they've got. We've got Lance Stevenson. Smith out there with Jordan. Then it's Crawford, and it's Redick in at the 1. So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe.
Boy, for Jamal Crawford, guys, it's been a really good career. Not many guys can maintain his level of quickness after 15 years in the league. I mean, but last season, he finally started to show a little wear and tear.
And back to Crawford last season, he was down in field goal and three-point percentage. Plus, he battled with a calf injury that ultimately kept him out of 17, 18 games late in the year.
Yeah, Kevin, but his deep range spread the floor when he was out there. He still has that presence about him that you have to honor him. And he also hits some very timely shots, a dangerous assassin who always needs to be accounted for.
They double him with Freak. Passes it to Stevenson. And again, it's the Clippers missing.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you could see the frustration on his face.
Knight dishes to Chandler. Suns moving the ball around. Fires from deep. And Riddick gets it to go on the assist from Tucker. Tucker's got his 3rd assist on the night. Stevenson kicks to Crawford. Riddick passes to Smith. Riddick is in the corner. Los Angeles with another miss. The Suns have gone 8 of 14 on their shot attempts here in the 3rd. Some pretty nice work. The shot by Knight, no good. For Los Angeles, they've gone 2 of 7 from the field in the 3rd. That leaves room for improvements here. Riddick with the bucket. Clark, 3rd quarter here, and 5 lead changes so far.
Yeah, it's really been a bit of a tug of war. Back and forth we go.
And guys, neither team has been able to pull away.
Clippers have gone 3 of 8 so far in the 3rd quarter, looking to lock in that rhythm. That ball, nice feed that time from Stevenson. Now it's a 3-point Los Angeles lead. Out of bounds, the Clippers take possession. And a look here at the most accurate shooting guards in the NBA this season. Take a look at Riddick.
You know, just ask this group. Sometimes when you're hot, you're hot. And it's a comforting feeling for a coach to know you've got one of those guys roaming on the perimeter.
And not only can they light it up from the perimeter, Greg, but they get their buckets getting to the rim as well. I mean, aggressive moves to the basket are always going to help your shooting percentage. You got to get some easy ones to shoot a high percentage.
And the foul called on Freak. So that will be his 2nd foul of the game. We're in the bonus, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Clippers.
They've knocked down plenty of mid-range jumpers in this one. That's been big for them.
Couple that with just how well they've shot it from beyond, and they've made this thing look easy.
He kicks it to Land. And stolen by Jordan. Stevenson against Land. Paul outside. Dishes it to Smith. Land with the play. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Land.
Shape up. Shape up.
C'est pas parce que t'as mis un route que c'est bon.
Los Angeles leading by 5. Just 5 to shoot. The drive by Paul. Nails it from the high post. Paul's got 11.
They're spraying them home from mid-range today, guys.
Finding the gaps in the defense and really just slicing and dicing them right now.
And it's the Clippers' ball. They're on a 12-3 run. Jacks up a 3. Paul missing again. Phoenix has gone 2 of 5 with the 3-point shot since coming out of the break. Adams' shot is good.
Brandon Knight certainly can pass the orange.
So it's the Clippers now. It's a 5-point game. Adams against Paul. The feed to Smith. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Paul's got assist number 7 for him tonight.
Not sure how he gets that pass off. I thought for sure he was going to pull the trigger.
And a great show through 3 quarters as we enter the 4th. Who will... Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The 4th quarter of play should begin momentarily. So for the Suns, P.J. Tucker, he's checked in for Booker. And it's Adams in for Eric Bledsoe. The Clippers also changing it up. Smith comes in for Jordan. And J.J. Redick is subbed in for Jamal Crawford. Tucker and Morris holding the forward spots. Adams is out there with Sonny Weems. And it's Chandler in at the pivot spot manning the middle. That's who's out there for Phoenix. Adams dishes to Chandler. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
He's been absolutely in control. No slowing down for Chandler. He's got 10 rebounds and a pair of blocks to go along with those.
And he's been standing tall when they needed it.
And the Clippers making a switch here. Jordan's checked in. Chandler hits them both.
Boy, perfect half at the free throw line for him. That'll help their comeback effort for real.
And Clark, those free throws need to continue if they're going to get back in this game.
Paul kicks to Griffin. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Of course, he didn't have an attempt there in the first half. He's hoping to be a little bit more active and aggressive here and draw some fouls here in the second.
Oh non.